your school, of your friends.
Hello, good people. Hello. I can see we are already in. We are already starting to get in and really very observant about time and keeping time. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's great to see you here again. I know, yeah, that's Collins. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's great to see you here. It's good to see that after working a long day, you have managed to save some time for this wonderful moment, for this precious moment, which will make all those who will be in this webinar happy parents. You are most welcome. All those who are still planning to get in, yeah, we are still waiting for you. We don't want people to be left behind because this is a very valid time for you. We don't want you to miss. Stacy, welcome. We don't want to miss anyone, and we don't want anyone to miss anything. That's why we are going to be very patient to see that all those who want to hear what they need to hear today are in and will be able to hear and to learn what they're supposed to learn today. Welcome, welcome. Just as you keep on coming in, Josephine, Karibu, as we continue coming in, let's just know where we are coming from. Welcome, Margaret. As we wait for each other, let's just know which part of the country or diaspora are you coming from? Are you listening us from? Just put it down on the chat board. Let's see where we are interacting from. Just put it there. Let's see where you're coming from. We need to know whether we are reaching out to all the people of Kenya and everywhere else where people, parenting is not for Kenyans, parenting is for all over. So you are most welcome, most welcome. So let's see where we are coming from. I can see Caro Mungami. Let's just know where you're coming from. Evelyn. Yeah. Kajiado, Margaret from Kajiado. Amin from Nakuru. Yeah, hi, how are you, Nakuru people? I can see somebody from, that is Esther from Nairobi. Hey, you are with, I'm not in Nairobi anyway. I am a neighbor to Nairobi, but I keep on calling myself a Nairobian. Claudia from Utawala, that's a Nairobian. I can see Jane from Nairobi. Karibu Jane. Anne Gashai from Nairobi. There are quite many from Nairobi. Charlie Anns from Nairobi. Josephine from Nairobi. Anne from Nairobi. Nairobi parents, you are quite a number. We are going to plan another meeting with you face to face for the Nairobi, but the rest will continue with this because they are going to have a wonderful time as they continue with us. Healing with Betty from UK. Welcome, Betty. Is UK hot or cold now? I think it's hot. There is Mary Muindi from where? There, at least that is the right place. It's a wonderful place. Marceline from Umoja, Nairobi. Welcome, welcome, friends. Welcome, parents. Welcome, wonderful parents. Welcome, caring parents. Any parent who is in this webinar today, Abigail from Nandi County, you are wonderful parents. You've been wondering how you can make yourselves better, and this is the forum. Mercy from Kiambu County. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's good to know you are here from all over the country. You also healing with Bethy, UK. Welcome. And you are telling me it's quite warm in UK. And Gashai supporting face to face. Yeah, we will organize and see when. So I'm welcoming you in this webinar today. It's something that we've talked about in our group for quite some time. We have shared, we have tried to assist each other. I congratulate you all, those who participated, to see that when one of us starts bringing up their challenges, we never ignored them or put them off. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and congratulations for being good parents and supportive parents. I would also wish to request us, we take 1 minute and see if there are people who we know and care about and would be willing to be in this webinar. Just send them the link. Just take a minute and send your friends the link so that they can get what you are getting out of this today. Because it's something that is worth getting. It's something that is worth investing in. Because we are investing in your time, let somebody else enjoy it, love it, learn, and be a happy parent by the time we finish this class. Welcome, welcome. Keep on coming in. Keep on coming in. Keep on coming in. So we are going to be here for some time. And actually, as I said there earlier in the group, we are going to be here today for 1 hour, for a worthy 1 hour. So I don't want to waste any time doing other things than making sure that what I promised I'll give, I do give. My name is Rose Mahera, your coach and trainer. I'm a psychologist by profession from the University of Nairobi. I'm also a counselor who has a higher diploma from Kenya Association of Professional Counselors. I am a nurse. That is something to add up to that. But more than anything else, I'm a mother of 3 adult children. So when I'm here to talk through experience, not only through theories. So you have a chance to learn from me, and you have a chance to ask me questions, and you have a chance to interact with me. As much as we are talking about parenting today, there is so much we need to know. We want to set a good family which knows how to move on the left, how to move on the right, when to sit down and when to stand. Those are called rules. And if we expect our children to know about rules, we ourselves have to learn how to follow rules. So you can see Rosie has prepared 3 rules. Please accept them. They are only for this 1 hour, but they might help us when we are continuing with our lessons. So first rule, don't interrupt when the speaker is speaking. Let her speak, but she'll give you a chance in rule 2, because it's advisable to be interactive and ask questions or even make comments like you've just talked about where you are. So I'm going to give you a chance to do that. And rule number 3, let's turn off our ringer phones. Because when we let our phones to distract us, imagine you are going to lose so much. And there are some people who cannot even allow vibration. So if you cannot allow vibration also, it will interrupt you. Just switch off the phone only for 1 hour so that you can get what you came to look for. You cannot invest this wonderful time when you're supposed to be sitting down with your children, eating, and family members, and here you are listening, and then the phone decides that you're not going to get what you wanted to get. So we are going to talk today. We are going to talk so much about the following definition of parenting style. I hope this presentation is legible. Type of parenting styles, parenting style and child behavior, dimensions of parenting styles, recommended parenting styles, because after we talk about all the above, we end up with a recommendation. And the recommendation is not going to be made by any other, it's by the parents who are in this group today, the parents who are in this training today, the parents who are in this webinar today are going to recommend a parenting style that is preferable, that is the best. We are going to see as we continue, and we are going to go, that is during the conclusion, and also the references. How do we get to interact, and how do we get to know each other better, and also how to contact us. After we finish, I will let you know how you're going to contact us to see how we can continue with this. I talked about the first one to be parenting, definition of parenting style. Before I go there, a parenting styles have been there. A parenting style is a pattern of behaviors, attitudes, and approaches that a parent uses when interacting and raising the child. Which child? When we talk about a parenting, taking care of a child and parenting a child, when do you start parenting? When does parenthood start? This one I want an answer. This one I request kindly give me an answer. When does a parenthood begin? Each one of us has their own ways of understanding when parenting began to them. Just jot it down on our chat board and let us know. According to you, when does parenthood begin? Let's see from you. Let me see somebody saying. Just the way you understand. There is no wrong answer. We are here to learn. And when we learn, we say something and then the teacher says, oh, Claudia, conception, wonderful. Somebody, Claudia has said conception, okay. Bilha, conception. One, when a lady is pregnant. Yes, great. When we conceive, parenting starts when we conceive, said Stella. That is the same thing Stella is saying. Begins when? Beloved, with a child, whether by birth or adoption. Somebody is saying even adoption. When you adopt a child is when you are parenting, because those who don't give birth and they adopt, that is parenting. Sometimes I don't know when people adopt, when they are older or younger, at what age. It starts from birth, development. Alexina, thank you. Any other comment? Parenthood begins from conception in the womb. Thank you very much. Thank you, parents. This is very positive. We already know Anthony Wanyonyi, thank you. Esther Mokaya, from an age of as long as taking care of a child. It doesn't matter when, but as long as you are taking care of a child, that's when you start becoming a parent. You might be parenting your siblings. I know some of you have parented their siblings. As long as you're expectant. Thank you very much. This is why parenting starts as early as when your spouse comes and tells you with a three-word statement, honey, I am pregnant. Those men who are here, those father parents who are here, when your spouse came and told you, I'm expectant or I'm pregnant, what did you feel? That feeling is parenting. Did you panic? Did you get excited? Did you fear? Whatever. And when a lady misses her menses and she knows something had happened between her and her spouse, then there are questions or statements they make after the pregnancy test is positive. Then they start, do they panic? Do they get excited? Do they look forward to say that I'm going to be a parent? No, you're not supposed to say I'm going to be a parent that day. You're supposed to say, now, sweetheart, whoever you are going to come out as, you are my baby. I will start parenting you from today. until adulthood, until you leave me, and I'll always be your parent. So that is all about what? Parenting. Parenting, and we will know more about which style do we use when the baby is in the uterus, and this is used by both the father and the mother of the baby, and also how to experience those times. So there are types of parenting styles, and here I had prepared 4 parenting styles. These 4 parenting styles are not new. They were there during my time when I was being brought up. They were there when I was giving birth to my children. They were there during my grandmother's time, and they are there today for you who are in this class. They are not new. The only thing here is we do not know which one is best, and we do not know how to practice it. So sometimes we end up doing it in a way that it does not present the outcome we would want it to present. This is why it is important to learn about these parenting styles, about how to experience them, and about how to execute them. But how do we execute parenting styles? Parenting styles and behavior. I have talked about 4 parenting styles, and here we can see them so clearly. There is an authoritative and submissive type of parenting. Those are 2. How do people behave when they are practicing that one? These people, parents, let's talk about parents. These people are warm and accepting. Just imagine somebody comes to you with an issue. You are both in the office or somebody there, even in the village. And then when you go with an issue, maybe you're so down, somebody welcomes you. Oh, can I hear you? Or what is it all about? Just have a seat, let's talk. When somebody treats you like that, how do you feel? How many times do we do this to our children? Because they come to us in so many times in that emotional need, and do we respond with warmth and acceptance? Parenting style and behavior, if we continue, we have another style which is called authoritarian and neglectful, just as they are. Maybe you might not understand authoritarian very much because it's people might mistake it with the authoritative. But here, what do we hear about authoritarian and neglective? These are cold. Can you imagine telling me to go to the bathroom right now and on a cold shower? They are cold and unaccepting. Yes, you have come. Why are you looking like you are from wherever? Like you have been rained on. What did you want to tell me? Those are the behaviors of parenting styles of authoritarian. And you finish quickly because I have so much to do. They are unaccepting. Parenting style and child's behavior are highly correlated. So when a behavior is highly correlated to a specific parenting style above the ones we have talked of above, it brings out just what you are bringing up. It brings out that even when you start blaming the child because this child is so rude, this child is so stupid, this child is like this, those utterances, that is a parenting style. And this is what the child takes with them. Theory suggests that there is a close relationship between the type of parenting style and the children's behavior. For all of us here, maybe in this group, people might not be aware of that, but be aware today that the way we behave and the way we expect the outcome of the child behavior to be is so much related with the style we use in bringing them up. Different parenting styles can lead to different child development and outcomes. Parents, are you getting this message? The way the child develops, trying to learn something and they are blocked, trying to learn how to stop wetting the bed, and then they just realize they are wetting the bed. There is so much in relationship with the parenting style. Why do they just pass? And sometimes when they pass, they wet the bed, there is a parenting style. Oh, mom, today, imagine I didn't remember to get up and to go to the toilet. Dad, today I susued in bed. Can your child come and tell you that? Or your child come and because she or he susued in bed, and then you start, the child will look at you. The message is written on both of you. Today, I'll get a piece of discipline just because of wetting the bed. Who enjoys wetting the bed? So parenting style decides on how you react and how you respond. We'll see this further. Dimensions of parenting styles. Parenting styles are categorized based on two dimensions: demandingness and responsiveness. When we talk about demandingness, it's about expectations. Demandingness refers to how parents control their child's behavior or demand maturity. This is what I expect of you. This is what I demand to get out of you. You must come home every term as number 1 or 2 with 90 and above marks. This is what I expect. I am paying a lot of school fees, and we verbalize this. So when this child goes to school and does not get that, what is the response? Refers to how much parents are accepting and sensitive to their children's emotional and developmental needs. So when I demand so highly, I expect so highly, I respond so highly, or maybe even the opposite. We will see as we go further. So this demandingness and responsiveness, it's good to balance the two. Parents, it's good to balance the two. We might not know how, but that's why we are saying we need these lessons to know how to do it. We have talked about authoritative parenting style. It says it's democratic. When I say democratic, everybody loves democracy. When you want to campaign and become a leader in the university or in school or anywhere to become the leader, you will tell people when you're campaigning, I am very democratic, because democracy is viewed as very positive, very warm, very accommodative. It is a good thing. So what happens in the authoritative parenting? It has high demandedness, and it is also brings response in a high responsiveness attitude. Authoritative parents, it is high, I had said earlier, it is high expectations for achievement and maturity. We expect so much from our children. We want them to do the best in school. We want them to hear that they are the best in school. And also parents also are warm and responsive. That's what we talked about, the parenting style of authoritative. It is warm and welcoming, accepting. I am here. What can I do for you? How many times do we ask our children that? It is not easy. I know I learned how to do this after attending counseling classes for some time, because I was one person. Well, my children can attest to this. When they were younger and they were coming from school, and let me confess, I was very poor in mathematics in school. And here, the children come from school with homework, and they expect Rose to sit there with them and guide them and help them with homework. And if I would tell somebody to do 1 plus 2 and start thinking, I would get so irritated. 1 plus 2, something you cannot even think. And I would harass, I would punish. that type of authoritarian. And it was not pleasant for my children. I keep on telling them sorry up to today. I hated it. But I started hating it after I learned how unfair I was to them. If you don't know, you don't know. So you'll continue doing it, believing and thinking you are the best parent in the world. Those days I would tell you, I am very good. If somebody doesn't come and do the homework correctly, they know where the whip is. I thank God that somebody told me, Rose, you are wrong. But they didn't tell me in the forum, we are in a forum like we are today. It was like they were judging me. And you know how bad it is when you're judged. So authoritative parenting is warm and welcoming, and also a warm responsiveness. As much you expect so much from your child, whether it comes in or not, you know how to respond. We have another type of parenting style. How many are disciplinarians here? Don't tell me, I don't want to know. But what does it say? Just like the above one, high demandedness. But when it comes to knowing why didn't you perform well, low responsiveness. So what do you mean by low responsiveness? When we talk about high demandedness, it's high expectations even of maturity, control, expecting your child to be the best. But when it doesn't happen, how do you respond? No food today. If you didn't come here with a 90% in mathematics, and that parent was getting 20 in mathematics. But when you don't come here with 90%, no supper. And this child is going to go to school tomorrow. Or sometimes because of other reasons, we give them supper. But the language you are going to use on this child, oh my Jesus Christ, you don't know what to say next. You just go to school to waste my money. Why don't I live here to wash the dishes? I don't even have to employ somebody. You can be doing that work instead of wasting my money. And that is low responsiveness. That's intimidating. And on top of that is punishment. You discipline, the type of discipline you give, insults, beating. This is a type of parenting which we are going to see. We have permissive parenting, low demandingness, high responsiveness. I will not ask you to do much. You can do your homework. You can get 90 or get 50. Yeah, parents set few rules and boundaries. You can come home and wash your clothes. If I find you have not done, how do I respond? I am not bothered. It's permissive. It's okay. Things will just happen. And you expect something from this child. But the way you respond to them not doing what they're expected to do, just because you don't teach them what you're supposed to teach them, you keep on asking questions like the above parent, and you want to, the way I'm a grandmother, the way grandmothers treat their grandchildren, and the grandchildren, mine normally tell me, you are not mom, you are not going to pinch us, you are not going to use the slipper. So the high responsiveness, oh sorry, you didn't finish your homework, sorry, you got that. Oh sweetheart, I'm sorry for you, and life goes on. And that child will grow like that. And with your passive behavior, you don't want to enforce maturity, growth, and encouragement, then this is the child you'll end up getting. There is the fourth one, which is neglectful parenting, or uninvolved or disengaged. Can you imagine being disengaged? You don't ask for anything. You don't even make rules. You don't make boundaries. You don't even respond to their needs, emotional needs. This child, take care of yourself. After all, I gave birth to you. What else do you want? You can walk. I have employed a maid, a house help, or we call them house managers. I am paying for tuition. And so I sit. As long as I am able to provide financially, and there is shelter, there is clothing, life goes on. But I will want my child to be like Rose's child, but Rose does the opposite. So those are the children we are bringing up. When we think about that, let's come back to our chat board. We are so many parents here today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Those who are joining us now, continue getting in, learning more, but just tell us. I hope nobody was left out when we were talking about parenting styles. We talked about authoritarian, which is warm and welcoming, authoritative, where there's a disciplinarian, permissive, which is a passive parenthood, the indulgent one, that is the indulgent one, and also the authoritarian, we have said this is the disciplinarian. We have talked about the permissive, they are just passive, they don't do much. We have talked about neglectful, where you don't even bother. So let me hear from us. Just chat down. Which one? I have two questions. Please answer both. Which one do you use at home with your children? That is one. Which parenting style are you using at home currently? Two, in fact, there should be three questions. Which ones did your parents use with you? Did you carry them forward to today? Which one are you using with your children? And which one is the preferred one among the four parenting? This is a small exam, just it's a quiz. Well, we came here to learn, eh? So I'm not leaving you without interacting with me today. Which parenting style did your parents use? Good job, Rose. Go on. Thank you very much. I thought it was an answer to my question. Which parenting style did your parents use? Which parenting style are you using with your children? And which parenting style is preferred among the four? Just chat on the board. Chat on the board and let me see on the chat board. Neglectful. Was that with your parents, Neema, or with you, or the preferred one? Which one are you using? I don't know whether this one is neglectful, you are using it, or your parents. My parents were authoritative. I am like them. Wonderful. That is good, Irene. Those who are authoritarian with Erika. I don't know whether Erika is using it now with the children or received it. I'm using democratic. Susan, good. You're using democratic. Democratic is authoritative. I am an authoritative mother, but was within authoritarian family. Okay, so you came up from an authoritarian family, but probably you chose to do the opposite. Yeah, we choose. I also grew up in authoritarian family. Mine was a cocktail, authoritarian and passive. My mother used to be authoritarian. My mother used to be authoritative. I am more authoritarian and you are authoritative. So you have chosen the opposite of your mother. That is great, Helen. If it didn't work for you in your childhood, it might not work for you. My parents used to be permissive. Mine were not permissive. Mine were authoritarian and disciplinarian. My parents used to be authoritative, but I am using permissive. Okay, good. I need to change. Yes, Margaret, we are together. Marcy, my parents disciplinarian. We talked about disciplinarian as authoritarian. So I don't know what you want to be with your children. I use a mixture of authoritative, permissive, authoritarian, Unasikia, that is what Patient Santa is using. And it's a cocktail. You can borrow from each other, which favors the whole team. So it is, there is an authoritarian here. And if it didn't work for you in your childhood, so let's go to the final question. Out of the 4 parenting styles, which one would you say is the best, or would you prefer? If you are not using it then, now you want to use it as from today when we finish this topic. Just let me know. I want to know which is preferred so that I can see how to go on with this subject. Just make a comment. Which is the best parenting style according to you? Let me just hear from you. Let me just read from you. Anyone who prefers, there is authoritarian, authoritative, neglective, permissive. Any? I use both authoritarian and authoritative. But which one is preferable today? According to the 4 that we have discussed about, which one would you prefer? I just want to read, to hear that today. Which one would you prefer? Authoritarian. Okay. Somebody is saying I use both authoritarian and authoritative, but I wanted to know, after what we have learned now, which one do you think is the best? Somebody here is saying I would prefer to use authoritative. Thank you, Claudia. Anybody else with another better one? Authoritative is the best. Thank you, Maggie. Any other out of the 4? I have seen authoritative. I don't know whether we all agree with the authoritative, or maybe there is another one we have seen which can be better than authoritative. Let's see. Which parenting style works today? I hope you can all see this. Of the 4 parenting styles, the authoritative style is the one that is most encouraged in modern society. You people here are modern society. People like us who are those old generations. These are modern society, these members of this team. So it has been encouraged that we can borrow this, and we are going to see how we are going to borrow this. Authoritative parents are assertive, but not intrusive or restrictive. I can say in a one word, are not harsh. You know, harsh is a negative attribute. Being harsh, being just a disciplinarian and not a guide. Their disciplinary styles are supportive rather than punitive. I'm not just waiting for you to make a mistake, then I punish you. I will teach you how not to make a mistake so that I never punish you. And this is why we are in this training today, that we are trying to prevent our preteens to go into crisis or to go into challenges, because we already have taught them how to be the people we want them to be before it reaches that time. That is why parenting starts from conception, so that we start guiding our children the minute they start asking us, Jane, can you go and eat your food? Why? You don't start asking them, do you know that is very rude? Why are you asking me that question? And you're also using the word why. You are supposed to be able to answer their 5 whys, and not to punish them for asking you that question, because they ask you, even after we finish this topic, why were you listening to that lady? Why are you going to the class? Why are you telling me to keep quiet so that you can listen to that lady talking? Those answers must be here, ready to be answered until this child is satisfied. And when you guide them, by the time they reach preteen, they'll not stand there and start looking at you and telling you, staring at you. And that is another way of saying, you can say what you're saying, when you finish, you let me go. I don't know whether some of you are going through this already. How do you respond to that? But we learn that later. Which parenting style works today? We talked about authoritative. I have a homework here. What parenting style am I currently practicing? You answered that one. How can I learn how to apply the preferable parenting style that will be beneficial to both my child and myself? The whole team. This one is a take home. When you get there and your child starts asking you tomorrow, or maybe by the time you are settling them to bed, Mom, what's wrong? Because you're talking to them. Can you imagine? Because you'll be talking to them. You say, I have learned that there's another style that I can talk. I don't have to scream. So what will you tell your daughter or your son when you're taking them to bed tonight? What happened today? You are not screaming. This will and can be responded in the preteen parental training due soon. Because all that we have learned today, this short time, is going to be experienced as we continue learning. Because here, I just want to ask you a simple question. If it's all right, if I inform you, instead of telling you about what I was telling you about here, my new parenting program on the 29th to 31st of August this year, from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. East African time, because I've seen some people are not in Africa. It's a 3-day masterclass. And when I talk about masterclass, when you finish your degree and then you go and do masters, you feel great. Today, you are in was it a diploma or a first degree? The next time you are going to be in a masterclass to become a better parent, known as active parenting. A present parent will be taught via Zoom. And why should you attend the training? Do you want to add value in your parenting styles, in your parenthood? Do you want to add value in your family? Because when the parenting style changes, and when all the things I'm going to mention below changes, and then they come for better, then you're going to see. Like day one, there's communication skills, and I like calling it transformative communication skills for preteens. I'm not talking only about preteens here. I want to prevent preteens from being labeled difficult children, because these parents here today will have taught their children before they are preteens, before they are teens, to know how to behave, what to do. So when they become to teenage, they get to teenagehood, the parents will just be sitting and watching and saying, thank you. Thank you. I went to this school. I thank God for it. And we'll be doing this training. Like I had said earlier, how many times have you talked to your child in preteen or adolescence, and they just look at you like this? Can you see how I'm looking? I hope you are seeing me. Finish what you're saying. I have so much to do. Yes, that rudeness. How can we prevent that? That is why we are having this communication skill training, to know how to communicate to them, and how to, even when they tell you, I don't like the way you dress, ma'am, are you able to ask them, I didn't understand. Can you explain further by saying that you don't like the way I'm dressed? Just explain. Instead of, whom are you talking to like this? Day two, we have setting boundaries for your preteen, effective discipline. How many times, I don't know whether you have been trying to set boundaries with your children, and you have been practicing how to discipline them if boundaries are not set. We have set rules before we started. How many times do you set boundaries or make rules, and they have followed very well for 1 day or 2 days? Then the third or the fourth day, you see like it's like you did nothing. You're back to square zero. Is it because you did not instill discipline? Why has it been ignored? It is interrelated with communication. So when we learn communication on day one, On day 2, we learn about setting boundaries and discipline. We'll know how the two interrelate and to see that discipline is carried properly by the parents because they had set boundaries with the children and the communication they are using are intertwined to see that this works well for both the child and the parent and they are not at committee. Yeah, it is not about you are going to see the whip is there. And in day 3, the above two will interact with us because you are going to have a critical thinking skills training and how to support growth at home. When your child comes having made a kite, and then you see the child asks you, Mom, Dad, hey, I have made a kite. Do you look at them like this and start wondering, what was he thinking? Do you ever think, do you ever reason, does a kite look like this? Are you encouraging them to think? They are already thinking critically, but you are suppressing their critical thinking by telling them whether they think or what they are thinking because a kite does not look like that. How do you support them to know how even to wash the dishes? If they washed the dishes that day and managed to clean them well, but then some were left with fatty particles. How do you help them? Through communication. That's what I'm saying. The three are interrelated. When you finish the first day, you come to the second day, you go to the third day. How do you help them to make a better kite? You help them with the skill. Next time when you're doing it, do it like this. And when you wash dishes, when there is too much fat on the dishes, it's too oily, this is the way we do it. How do you encourage? How do you reinforce? It's not easy. I'm telling you this through experience. But because of the change of attitude as a parent, then here we are. We are going to see the 3 days as beneficial to us and beneficial to our children. So, how are we going to see that we benefit from what we are looking for? As I talked about the Nairobi people, I have been doing this with quite a few people. Anymore because they are living as friends and as a happy family. So in this regard, okay, then the people who have been attending my classes have been paying 5,000 shillings. But anyone who is in this webinar today, and I'll also call them the early bird, are going to benefit by paying 2,000 shillings for the same training, the 3-day training, to get all the information you have talked for and see that we end up with happy families and we end up with people who will not give us stress by labeling them preteens, by labeling them teenagers, adolescents. They are our beloved children. And we want to be happy with them. There will never come a time when they'll be calling us. We will be calling them when they are in USA or when they are in Kakamega or wherever they are working. And when they see the phone, this is Mom, this is Dad. Oh, I'm not going to pick the phone. They're just bothering me. They'll just want to see your phone. And if you don't call them one day, they call you the next day. Because the relationship between the two of us is this is only gotten when you invest in learning how to relate with our children from conception till adulthood, that even when they are not together with us in our houses, in our environment, wherever they are, we are parent and child. And I trust that when you join this class, you are not going to regret it. You are not going to wish that you never wasted your investment in it because it's going to bear fruit. So The only best way to get into this class is by the payment details which are below, Lipa na M-Pesa. I hope it's visible and legible. Buy goods, till number 8606548, or directly to Rose Mahera 0722. Quite a number of people have been getting in touch with me through my number. Thank you very much for responding and for working with me. And I hope I responded to you as best as expected. But I have much more to give all the same. 0722-359-229. That's my number. And it's the one which is going to bring the M-Pesa directly. You can also contact us through the same number, 0722-359-229. Rose Mahera. Email, rose.mahera@ymail.com. It's not Gmail. It is Ymail. There's also the website, www.rosemahera.com. And maybe there are some things which I didn't mention and you would have wanted me to mention. Just jot them down. I may not be able to answer them today, but they guide me so much that when we come to class on 29th of August this year, 29th, 30th, and 31st, it will be a 2-hour session. It will not be as short as this one because I want to give a detailed information which will help us out. If you have any questions, just jot them down here. I'm going to have them. And I would want even to give this recording. It is recorded. I hope, Ambrose, you're doing that so that we can send it to you and even learn more. Just jot down your questions, even now when we are talking, so that I will have to know what your expectations are for the 3 days, 29th August this year, 30th August this year, and 31st. 7 to 9 p.m. 7 to 9, so that you can get time to socialize with your family. I don't want to deny you so much time with your family, but all the same, I want you to learn so much for your family. Thank you very much for listening to me, and you are most welcome for the master class from 29th of August. Thank you and have a good evening.